Okay, good morning, YouTube. It's me again, here to talk about some more stuff. I want to make a comment here to this video that Domino here made. Um, I guess she got a letter or some note or whatever from someone saying that they didn't want to be black and they felt that their features are not beautiful, or they didn't like the way that they looked or something like that. Um, Before I start to elaborate on my own stuff, what I really want to say is that I think Domino gave her a very good um, I guess analogy, a couple of analogies and things like that that could possibly help this person out. But and she did her best, and she did a really good job of talking to this person. But what I really want to say is that I don't think that self-hate really has to do with race. See, kind of like how Domino said it is, it's not about race. It's about, how you feel about yourself. People manifest that stuff into being, okay, well, I don't like my hair, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. But I think in the end, it's really you just don't like your life. You may put those things into those perspectives. Well, I don't like my hair because people feel this way about it, or I don't like this because. But the thing is that really, if you want to go out there and make something of yourself and have your life be the way that you want to be, you gotta love you. And those features and stuff is just all that stuff. I mean, like it's about, like she said, you go do a little experiment. You know what I'm saying? Get it the way you want it to look, and that'll be that. You know, but some of these people out there, they're saying, I guess they don't like to be black or whatever. I think that people don't like the challenge of being black. There is a challenge to being black because people are bombarded every day with so much negativity about the black community and about black people that it makes it challenging to be black because you automatically meet with those things as soon as a person sees you, sees your skin color, you meet with the stereotypes and all that different type of stuff. But a couple of things I want to bring to people's attention. If nobody, because I see people make these videos and I hear them saying certain things, but I wanted to know, and I'd be happy if people respond and get their comments on this. Has anybody ever thought about, instead of saying I don't want to be black, how unique the black race is compared to everybody else on the planet? Have people really ever sat down and thought about that? Have they thought about that while every other race on the planet share pretty much a lot of the same features and a lot of the same things, we as black people have features that are completely different from everybody else on the planet, and nobody else has those things. Number one, people complain about our hair, the black hair. Nobody likes it. It's too kinky. It's too curly. It's nappy. It's ugly. It's like this. It's whatever. But has anybody actually sat down and thought about the fact that nobody else on the planet has the same exact kind of hair that we have? Has anybody thought about that? I mean, I don't think that they have. Black people hair is completely, unique to black people. Other races pretty much have straight hair or hair that looks the same. White people have straight hair. Asian people have straight hair. Most Hispanics have straight hair. Some of them, especially when you get to the ones that are more mixed with black, they have hair that looks like ours. But Most of the other races have the same type of hair. Nobody else has the same kind of hair that we have. Okay. Also, as black people, we age different from everyone else on the planet. Everyone else on the planet tends to age about the same way, which is a lot different with black people. If anybody's ever sat down and looked at it, white people usually they age about the same way as Asians, you know, and other races. They all age about the same way, but when you take a look at a black person, it's a completely different thing because we age different from everyone else. Our skin is different. Um, Only ethnic groups like ours have the melanin in their skin. You know, a lot of other groups don't have that. It's part of what gives us color, but you know, it's if anybody's ever done the research on it, I think it does a lot of like helping to block with the sun and stuff like that, which is some of the reason why we age different from everyone else. Has anyone ever, instead of just sit down and be like, I hate being black, or I hate black people, or I don't want to be black, has anybody ever thought about that we're special? You know, we tend to be a lot more athletic than everyone else. We got a lot of different body features that everybody else doesn't get. They usually tend to have the same different, saying if you look at certain other races, they usually tend to all have the same thing. And we're different from everybody else on the planet. Every other race, we are different from every other race. While they share a lot of the same features and a lot of the same things, we have features that are unique on this planet. Has anybody ever thought about that? That's one of the things I wanted to put out here on this video. That's like my grandparents and my mom never always talked to me about things like that. Like as far as hair, actually, one of the things they have said to me, my grandmother, bless her soul, she's dead now, explained to me that if you go in the Bible and you look at the description of Jesus and they talk about his hair, they say that his hair was like the wool of a sheep. There's only one race of people on this planet that have hair that's like the wool of a sheep. That's us. Nobody else has this hair. Nobody else has it. And I just think that it's terrible that nobody sat around and thought about, what are the positive sides of this? But you know what? It's just like Domino here said this time, hey, we get bombarded with all these different images, and a lot of it comes from our own race. If you look at like on TV, you look at like BET, I haven't watched BET in a long time, but they have changed a lot of stuff that was on that channel as far as, when it was back in the 80s and everything. They had stuff on there that educated and supported black people and young black people, Teen Summit, things like that. They don't really have a lot of those programs these days. I kind of quit watching the channel because the only thing I was seeing on there was the rap videos that said pretty much, well, if you don't got rims and money and girls and chains, you're not a black man. That's pretty much what a lot of those videos say. They got a bunch of chronicles on there about gangsters and gangs and stuff like that. Is that the only thing that we have to show to the world? Well, like I said, a lot of people that I see making these videos, they probably never left the country. I have. And I know that kind of stuff is what people see. And that's what they think that black people are about. When you go to another country, you could be standing there in a collar shirt with a tie or something like that, But if they find out you're a black person from America, they will start asking you questions about gangs and gangsters and what's this like. You might not even have any kind of knowledge of that kind of stuff, but they assume that you do because the only thing that they are bombarded with by the media and channels like BET in our rap videos and stuff like that is that we're all gangsters. We're all thugs. Our females are hip hop bitches, sex toys. You know, that's not where we come from. You know, black people are a unique race. We're unique. There's things about us that nobody else has. Like I said, while everybody else shares some of the same features, there are things about us that nobody else has. So I would think that people should sit down, especially people like this viewer that wrote to Domino and was saying that she doesn't want to be black because she sees her grandmother is Indian or whatever and she had straight hair and all this stuff. I mean, like, we got to start seeing ourselves as what we really are, and that's a completely unique and different race. There's some reason in the whole scheme of things that nobody else shares some of the features that we have. And I don't know if the rest of y'all have noticed it. I have. There's an inherent fear of black people by other races for some reason. Whereas we don't really fear them. They have a fear of us for some reason. I mean, like I don't even think that has to do with it. It's like a respect. It's like a form of respect. It's not really fear. People try to manifest it as fear, but it's not. They give you a certain level of respect. They say that, oh well, it might be. They try to make it gets made look like, oh well, I don't want to get my ass kicked, or I don't want to be in some shit with a black person because they're crazy. But no, you can go to another place, get on a plane, go to another country, walk around that country, and people will view you completely different than the next person on the street. I think people should start thinking about that, and I'd love to see the comments I'm going to get for this one. But black people are unique, and we're different, and we need to start realizing that, and we need to start saying, hey, this is the way that it is. And who knows, that might turn things around for us. But in closing, I want to say I think this woman made a very good video. Um, I think that she did the best that she could to help this person that needed help and still does need help. And y'all black people are unique. Y'all, we different. There's something good about us. There's something that we, probably got lost somewhere in all the, rigmarole of the past centuries and all the slavery and junk like that. But we need to start paying attention to that kind of stuff. Like I said, my grandmother, she used to talk to me about that kind of stuff. And it's like I just don't see anybody else finding the positive side of being black. They only see the negatives. So let's try to take a look at the positive sides. And I guarantee you'll start to find out things that, or see things, or have a different feeling about yourself. Now I'm talking to this person that wrote the note. If you do this, I'm telling you, you'll start to feel a lot different about yourself. And that's all I really have to say about that. So I'm going to close this video out and wait for the comments, and I'll be making comments back, So, y'all have a nice day and a happy Easter.